and something different to one individual versus saying something different to another individual. So everybody's hearing something different, even when we all speak. Everybody's hearing something different. So I don't know what you're hearing or how you process of what I'm saying.
Right.
So the only way that I can do that is to tell you what I hear. Okay. Right. So what I heard him say is that our role in society is based on us and what we do. And sometimes we don't have all of the tools in place to do the things that we need to do or want to do. Can you help me clean that up about what you said from the last episode? Yeah. So you were saying that in society, the reason why some of the ways that men are looked upon is because we haven't gotten a good foundation. We haven't had a good mentor. We haven't had stuff like that in our lives. And that's why that, some men are in the condition that they're in.
Talk about barriers.
Yeah.
Social quality.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I think I was speaking on how I'll get a cut off. Look at that right there. Uh, 37. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're in good shape. Like football and talking.
Right.
And the doggone Dallas Cowboys are messing on and come down.
So
You said it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
but we were saying how it's things put in place to keep us in situations.
Right.
Red line.
There you go. That's
you talked about that. I didn't fully know the name was back then, but I had research red line. Bank on the red line on map shows where these people circle and we get loans.
right.
You know what I mean? But I'm also saying this is income, like it's that third. So you got those kind of things. Education system. It's different things. I was speaking on directly about my how somebody was telling me how I hear on the ball, new ball. You ain't got to pay the tax.
That's
what I'm saying. For your barber. That's great. And that was the information that was given. Not practice. I didn't know no better until I tried to buy a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when reality kicked
in. Didn't have no income to show. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So you got to do something, but that was somebody that didn't know how to teach people.
Yeah, that's right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And I don't think he did it for harm you, but he was telling me, bro, you get your money, we got to protect you. I get all.
Yeah.
And I ain't just credit for it, but at the same time, we both probably learned long from it. That ain't right. So it's things out here that actually move it because it's
So that's what I was trying to say, y'all. And what no need to be trying to say with him sitting right here beside me. So I want to pose this thought to you guys. Okay, so as men, which we all say we are, that definition carries weight in a lot of different circles. What type of man are you? Are you a man that keeps your word? Are you a man that honors commitment? Are you a man that takes responsibility? Are you a man that leads in the community? Or are you just a man that says that I'm a man and goes through life saying I'm a man, but ain't got no manhood, no manliness to show for it?
Good. But I think that comes with experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think any man, right? I mean, you go through something. Yeah. And the older you get, you're supposed to learn.
That's right.
Like, like man, I'm 53, so
Motivation.
available. Hey, but look, I was in the streets every night. I feel like I'm a man because I no longer desire any of that.
That's right.
Yeah. That's just like the fight last night.
Yeah.
I had several parties to go.
Right.
Everybody called me.
Yeah.
I said, man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I figured, what's just at home?
Yeah.
All the ladies, something, I'll put you out.
Yeah.
And it's a difference than back in the day
Like when I wanted to get out the house, I no longer desire none. Like all I want to do is take care of my family. That's just something that.
Terry said something last week at the last time. We got to get in this. You don't need to put on camera.
No. I'm just listening because I mean, you know, I just want to add into what you were saying. Like, I was like, when did you know when your manhood kicks in? You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people they don't get it as early as some people do. Right. Some people get it later in life. But see, this is something me and my brother was discussing earlier. You know, like in life, you have to realize that, you know, you might have got it at 35. Right. You might have got it at 21. Right. See what I'm saying? Another man might have got it when he's 45. You see what I'm saying? But then people will say, oh, that's too late for you to be doing this and doing that. You see what I'm saying? But I see another 20. You understand what I'm saying? Which is another, which 65 I would be. You understand what I'm saying? You know what it is. That's why I say, like, you know, some people get it earlier than others, and some people don't. But see, what things out here do you have to not only not show a man how to be a man, but to also give him a sense of role models, a sense of people that can be in these communities providing these situations for us. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've thought about things, but financial situations I didn't have. You understand what I'm saying? Being in and out of the prison system and stuff like that. But see, these are experiences that some of us have not experienced. Right. And you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what it was like to sometimes not have that $40 in your account. And somebody got to send that to you. You understand what I'm saying? And you call them home telling them like, no, bro, I thought you was going to send me $40. See, this is a part of what you're saying, being a man. You got to stand on your feet and be a man. So in there, it's a hustle. You feel what I'm saying? Every man for himself. You know what I'm saying? It's either you're going to be at the top of the food chain or you're going to be at the bottom of the food chain. And that's just how this world is right now. You understand that we live in. But the world that we live in right now, it's not about black and white no more. It's about rich and poor. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And being that man in these mentalities, everybody come from different aspects. Correct. Everybody come from different aspects. You know what I'm saying? We come from the streets. We come from the streets. Some of us come from schooling. Some of us come from different things. But what are the older people doing to keep things going like it was back in the day? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't got no more family reunions. You don't got no more coming to mama's house on Sundays and everybody get together and we can all get along. It's always some static with black people now. It's not really more unity with us. So where do you get to say, how do you know you're a man? You understand what kind of man are you? But you know what? You don't know. You know what? We get you don't know for a while. That's how you know you're a man.
But I like what you said. That's a good question. I think for me, when you begin to understand your purpose, that's when you begin to understand why you're here, what you're supposed to do, not only for your family, but for yourself.
That's right.
I heard you say something about, you know, I work 7 days a week, this is what I do. That's why a lot of brothers ain't very healthy.
That's right.
Because they don't take care of the body. When I heard you say that, I was like, wow. Because even God took the 7th day and rested. This culture has programmed in us. You gotta go, you gotta get this, you gotta get that. And you don't. When you begin to understand your purpose, you put it into perspective what's important for you.
That's right. That's right.
And what's important for your family.
Right.
And most importantly of all, you put into perspective, I ain't much of a man if I ain't got God in me. And I ain't reflecting God outside.
Right. Everybody's purpose is the same. It's to serve Him. You understand what I'm saying? That's your purpose. Right. You know, when we was all created, that was what the whole main focus of it was. You understand what I'm saying? Whether you go to church or whether you serve nature or whatever it shall be, your purpose is your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I say this. You can become a man
at 13, 14 years old if you are the only provider for your family. You understand what I'm saying? Some kids, their parents grew up on drugs. You feel what I'm saying? They in a household 13, 14 years old. They got to learn how to cook for themselves. They got to learn how to wash their own clothes. They got to learn how to go to school, come back home, take care of their brothers and sisters and everything.
So you're describing how somebody has to learn how to survive in crisis. That's not perfect.
That's not perfect.
That's crisis.
And it's not man, really, it's tragic. Because watch this. A 13-year-old boy and his mama single, that's not her husband. That's not her protector. That's not her boyfriend. He's not responsible for the
He
house.
definitely not the man.
He's definitely not the man in the house because he's 13 years old.
But you have to understand one thing. This is how poverty is sometimes in some places that people grow up in. Everybody don't grow up in the same aspect. Again, as I say,
I got it.
me and him grew up together. We know we was like Creekside. We stayed in the same apartment building. You feel what I'm saying? We knew what poverty was. You understand what I'm saying? Nowadays, people really don't understand what it means to not have no lights paid. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, people don't understand what it means. Yeah, when you gotta go up there to the armory and your mom's got you out there standing out there, you gotta get a box with some canned goods, some butter in there, you know, some cheese that you gotta cut off. You go to the meat man, you get a loaf of bologna cut off, you know, in the wax paper and everything. See, it's a difference. Kids don't value that moment no more. Now, how can we as men stand up in the communities and behold these kids to show them how to protect and be a man of their own?
Here's what you said earlier. All right. Now this, I think, this is a critical key. And we're gonna get back to the 13-year-old leaving the head to the house, running house, that they're not equipped to do. But you said something earlier that was so poignant, you know, about we want to do things that we don't have the funds or the resources to do. We sitting here talking and they ain't costing us a dime to sit here and talk. It don't cost us
for a second.
So if we look at the fact that we can do this for free and we can talk and share knowledge. Sharing knowledge is free. And you got people out here paying for college education and can't get a job in their feet. You got people out here that are doctors and engineers, managers of Burger King and the food line because they can't find careers. Now you take that same 13-year-old boy that comes from those track situations where you got a single mother and she's got 2 kids or she's got 3 kids and she's living on the system. That 13-year-old boy has got pressure put on him. He's got to do things that men have pressure with. So he's already being destroyed at 13 years old because he's having to step into a role that he's not equipped to handle. He has no idea what it means to be a man.
Let me ask you a question. Let me
finish. He has no idea. We can't talk about our culture and what our grandparents did because we were different. I'm 63. So my grandparents, they did things different. They owned stuff. They owned their own stuff. They wasn't going to nobody. They had farms. They had land. People like that don't do that no more because to the point when Brother made, society and culture has spoiled these kids and has taken away from them the ability to think. They can't function without the telephone in their hand. They'll be lost without social media. They can't have conversations. So these are tragedies. These are not things to applaud. Things to applaud are us coming together from different walks of life, having backgrounds from the prison system, having backgrounds from knowing what the streets is about, running guns, selling dope, doing all of those things that we do when we in the street, trying to come up, trying not to get caught. And some getting caught, they ain't do. Coming back out here telling these young brothers, hey, that's a better way. They don't talk to us.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I do agree.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just that what you had touched on about like mother, like grandfather and grandmama and them owning stuff.
Yeah.
They did.
They did.
And see, look at what's happening right now, though. Like, what's crazy right now, right? That I really have a problem with. Like, now we got these kids now wondering, stop leaving this house.
Yeah.
Should I leave them this property?
What did you say?
You know, they ain't gonna do nothing but sell
That's
it.
all they gonna do.
You know, they gonna sell it to a white man that's gonna come through.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, he gonna have a little bit of money and make it seem like a lot of money to you, especially when you somebody that lives in New York, somebody that lives in DC somewhere, you think that the money is better up there and all that. And you never think about it, you're gonna come back here one day, probably every time.
Yeah,
You know, you're not thinking that, you know, you can rent that property out and still make money off of it, because these are things that you're not told. Just like he was talking about the red line
Yeah.
with the banking. You
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's a lot of ways around things. They don't tell you about how to take your insurance plans and put them into trusts and stuff
right.
like that.
That's right.
And then write IULs and stuff like that, so you can borrow against your money.
You
know
become
what I'm
your
saying?
own bank.
Yeah, you
become your own bank.
Your own bank.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to worry about your kids getting probate court just to get your estates and stuff like that right there. It's already in a trust.
Yes.
It's already making money. You see what I'm saying? They taking your money, they flipping it in stocks. So as they flip your money to stocks, you go out here and get your nice house. You understand what I'm saying? But you're getting this from the trust. You're getting it from your money, your own entity. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
So
good.
it's a whole total difference.
Yeah.
And this is what it's not taught to us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not, you know, like nowadays you got people that are getting a little bit more money now than what they used to be when we was growing up in the 80s and stuff like that. You know, we was poor. Bro, we might come outside in the same jogging suit for a whole week. You know what I'm saying?
It was clean, though.
Yeah, we gonna wash it. We gonna put it back on. We gonna go to school. We gonna make the best of
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
And school lunch and school breakfast was the best thing you got.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like now, people have not seen anything. Wait till this man Trump get out this seat. We gonna be in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
We
right.
gonna be in a lot of trouble, man.
You're saying a whole lot,
It's
but
gonna make
here's
a
the
lot of
challenge.
stuff change.
You're right. I didn't have a problem in my home.
Okay, here we go.
that taught-
Here we go.
No,
Here we go.
I'm gonna keep.
Here we go. Go
I
ahead.
didn't
Let's
have
go.
a
Let's
father in my
go.
home that taught me. And as a result of that, a lot of heaviness put on me way before I was emotionally ready for
That's
it,
right. Amen.
physically ready
Amen.
for it, spiritually ready for it.
Yeah.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely.
And you think what you're doing is right, but it's all wrong. As a result of it being all wrong, eventually you go in that place.
That's right.
And then you gotta survive that crazy stuff.
Exactly.
What we're doing right now is I hope so many young brothers can hear this and understand, like, man, your purpose ain't out there to be wilding in the street. Your purpose is to really grow up and be a man that puts God in your life. I ain't saying you gotta be holier than thou.
Right.
But you gotta understand, you wake up and go down and wake up again because of God.
That's right.
Not because of that's what you thinking that I don't. That's not.
So my man said he was thinking of dropping the nut. So let's talk. I'm gonna tie that in. All right. So we're supposed to be legacy builders because we never had one because it was stolen from us, and our identity was stolen from us. And a lot of us are still, I'm saying men in general, still fighting for identity, trying to figure out who we are. 50-year-old men don't know who they are. 40-year-old men don't know who they are. 30-year-old men don't know who they are. Still acting up, still cutting up, still doing those little childish things. The word of God says, when I was a child, I thought like a child. I understood like a child. But when I became a manhood, I put away childish things. A lot of men have put away childish things. So to my point, the question that I was raising is, when do you know, or how do you know that you are a man? You put away childish things. Who were childish things? Those things that children play with. Children run around at 40. Children don't run around at 40 with their britches hanging down around their ankle. They definitely still ain't wearing braids and everything all over their ear and necklaces all over their neck. That's not what 40, 50, 60-year-old men do. But that the culture says that's okay. So when our little kids who still come up through the same system that a lot of us come through, daddy not there, daddy not present, mama flipping men like flapjack. Different boyfriend. Every time you turn around, there's another man in the house. So every time you see these things, we look at this and we wonder what's wrong with men. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? right? And so when the word of God said, when I was a child, which means that you had to be a child, I thought like a child. I understood like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. It's the but. I want somebody to get that. It's always the but. But I thought you loved me. But I thought you said we'd be together forever. But I thought you said that you was going to shoot it. But he said, but she said, so it's always the but. And we got to understand that we have to put away childish things so that we can know what that manhood is supposed to look like. And it starts in conversations like this. Everything's a teacher don't even know. When he talked to me, I mean, you guys are some really, really good sessions. But again, thank you for being here and being on the podcast. And thank you for being here, being on the podcast. But Eric says some stuff sometimes, man. He be dropping them nuts. You got to walk around with your method and these methods stuff is being dropped up in here. I'm just saying, but that's what it is. We have, and here's the thing. Here's what bars like Greg, Eric, and I used to cut anymore, so I don't cut anymore. I'm certified license what I do, but I don't cut anymore. But here's the power that they have. As a bar, you're not only a counselor, you're a confidant, you're a safe space for people. People come in here and they share things with you that they wouldn't share with their counselor. They come in here and they say things to you because they feel safe with you. And so you have to use that ability with a certain level of maturity and caution so that you don't betray nobody's trust. So I applaud Greg and his whole staff for being here and allowing us to do things like this to make a difference in the community. And I applaud you, my brother, for being here and sharing your experiences, because it is those sharing of experiences that's going to catch somebody that watches you. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And everybody can talk, each other, share valuable information.
Absolutely.
They can help the next.
Yes, yeah.
We are sometimes have to problem ourselves.
Come on,
I'm
man.
saying, like, complex. Yeah. Some things like now you hear the young kids now, everybody got to say, oh, man, no homo. I say, bro, you okay? You know who you are. You understand what I'm saying? You should have to say things like, this society has changed so much. Music, social media, drugs, everything is all changed. Right. Everything that once ago that wouldn't do at all, right? Now you can put that under the sun because it's people out here now that are African American people that are doing things that are just like the same, like hard drugs. So like, yeah, we didn't never do this stuff. You never seen it in our communities like that. The most you seen probably was heroin. You feel what I'm saying? But other than that, right there, crack cocaine was the most you ever seen in the black communities. Yes. Now you see so much different things, so many different overdoses with black people. So, like, when is this going to stop? When are we going to wake up as a people and realize that you are kings and queens? When are you going to wake up and realize that the stuff that you see in the way of the world is all an illusion? Okay, it's an illusion.
My man. Okay, we're about to go deep right now. See, I like it when we have intellectual stimulation. I think continue. Okay, so let's bust the myth of kings and queens right now. A king has to have a kingdom to rule over. King has to have a kingdom. Ain't no such thing as queen. So the queen has to have a king, unless she got it, but because the king died. So in order for a woman to be a queen, she first has to be royal, and she has to carry herself with a level of regality, and royalty. She can't be out here with a girl's house. She can't be out here half naked, no clothes on, hollering queen status. She can't be out here with the weave and the eyelashes on, hollering queen status. She can't have 4 babies by 4 different men, hollering queen status. She can't be. Where's a queen on that? Okay, so now we got kings. We got guys who hollering king. Okay, you a king. You got 4, 5 kids on paper now, one of them. You hollering king. You don't come home at night. Your woman, because she most of the time ain't your wife. Your woman that you're living in sin with, most of the time ain't your wife. She don't know what you is, so she calling you, she wearing you out. So we got to get out of this mindset of kings and queens, because a king had royal, was royal. There was something in his authority. There was something in his candor. A queen had something in her candor. She didn't perpetrate and run around here, tattoos all over her neck, all over her eyes, all over her face. Where did the women get that stupidity from? Sure.
This is one thing that we must say again. You remember the question I asked?
Yeah.
When will we become
like
and what ages did we realize? You understand what I'm saying? See, like,
and you there you go. There you go.
see, so to go to what you were saying when you were speaking about women, you know, men as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the point of what I'm saying. Like these talks right here. See, this is what creates civilization for some people. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know, it basically, if these are things that grown men 40, 50, 60 years old do not like, you understand? It's gonna be women out here that's gonna say to themselves, oh, maybe I might be doing this the wrong way.
Come on,
you understand what I'm saying? So maybe I might need to check something on myself and rearrange that. You understand? Just like me myself personally. Something you spoke on about, you know, kids being in their life, stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? That means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and myself, I lost a son. You understand? When I was incarcerated. So, you know, I deal with this differently. And now kids, like I tell kids nowadays, man, they get so grown, man, so fast. When you experience that experience in prison and you come home, try to be in their life, try to deal with them right, and then guess what happens? Same thing you said. You got a different baby daddy, different this, different that. They been raised this way, talk this way to you, they disrespect you in this way. So you say to yourself, like, why you here? You understand what I'm saying? Like, just like I'm saying, like, do I even leave anything out there? You know, these are the things now we question ourselves about, and we go in the mind state of saying, like, damn, I love them. But you know, if I love them so much, why can't they love me the same?
But you said something earlier that was so powerful. You gotta break these cycles. This is a cycle. It is. This is a pattern of behavior. Okay, so there's no reason for a young man to go to jail with all the men that's gonna be in the jail if they telling him, and you don't want to see that, don't go. But we won't tell them don't be there to go. We tell them, do you? You're gonna learn. Keep on, you're gonna learn. We don't tell them, hey man, you don't want that.
You tell them, but they don't want it.
Yeah, but the society.
Yeah. You know what it is. This is so cute. A lot of us have a whole lot of knowledge of what we've been through.
That's right.
But most men don't
talk.
They don't talk.
And you know why?
They walk around.
You know why men don't talk? And it's good you said that too. I'm glad you touched on that point. A lot of men don't talk. It's because people utilize your conversations against you and make you out to be a bad person. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like you can go around and in your community and you can, you know, basically take these little young brothers, right? And you can give them acknowledgement or whatever, right? But guess what happened next week? Next week they'll say there's something you got going on with the kids now. So now they, you know, but you know, it's just always something judgmental about us. And we judge our own selves and judge our own people so bad. It's
right about that. He's right about that. But you generalize.
Yeah.
You saying all of us think that way.
No. I'm just saying a lot of people do. Like the younger youth right now, they think so crazily, man. It's totally different than, you know, you would think at 40, 50, 60 years old. You feel what I'm saying? We've already done seen what they're trying to see. You feel what I'm saying? So when you tell them, just like he was saying, when you tell them something, it's basically like going in one ear and out the other. You know, we was young once, we did things too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we was in the streets, we done a lot of things that we weren't supposed to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? At the end
Absolutely.
of the day, you got to learn from your mistakes. And you understand what I'm saying? Like, I was locked up very young, 14 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like coming home 15 and a half, almost 16.
Yeah.
Then the first thing I do is get an older lady.
Yeah.
A lady way older than me. I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm dating a 34, 35-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Who's you listening to though?
Somebody tried to Somebody tried. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Somebody tried to tell you though, right?
A lot of people try to
See that old woman alone.
A lot of people,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of men, women, everything was instilled in my life. But see, this is the thing that people fail to realize. We all was rebellious at one time.
Of course.
All was rebellious.
Of course.
And look what rebellious is. You understand what I'm saying? You're 30, 40 years old trying to establish credit. You're 30, 40 years old trying to buy a house. You're 30, 40 years old trying to get it. But at the same time, did you get it?
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. All right. Watch this. I know a lot of brothers in the car. You know, I know what jail is on. Listen, I'm gonna read that one right there. I'm gonna let you marinate. But when you make a conscious decision, I ain't coming back to this. This ain't for me. You got to do everything in your power not to go back to that place, because everything in the power of the world is trying to pull you back there. It's just like a magnet. It's like a magnet. All of your whole circle is trying to pull you back to who you used to be. All right, now watch this. Prison has saved a lot of lives. So prison has kept a lot of brothers here that would have been dead if they had stayed in the streets. Now, while they was in prison, if they took on the prison mentality and didn't elevate their consciousness and elevate their thoughts, and if they didn't read anything, they didn't take advantage of the time that they had to look at themselves in the mirror, they came back out here wise. But if they used that time wisely, they came back out here and they make this stuff for themselves now. And sometimes they had to go back and they had to have a relapse. They had to have another critical visit. They had to have another vacation on the bill. They had to have another vacation on the state. It takes some guy, to your point, 3-4 times going to jail before they get it. Before they get it. But the better part of their year is behind bars. Now they're trying to come out here and play catch up.
Right.
Now they come out here and try to play catch
You
up.
guys understand though, but and I'm saying you gotta remember the system for the play.
Absolutely. We talked about.
You gotta do your research.
Yes, sir.
A lot of got a contract to be in prison, but they gotta keep them full.
Not only don't
They gotta keep
all
them
It-
full.
it- all of them.
All of them got contracts with the prison.
Yeah, of course
So they
they do.
don't keep them full. The judges gotta give out so much time.
Right.
Because if they don't get them beds, they gotta pay for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, we know that.
You know?
But this is something they don't want us to know.
Hey, let me
Well,
ask you
it
this.
is.
If you can be in a 1,500 man prison, right? 1,500, right? Why you can't be a 1,500 man, right?
Let me ask you this. Hold on, let me ask you this. You asked the question earlier about I'm being or some becoming man this age, right? Question becomes, how do you keep a man from becoming a
Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's good, E.
By allowing him to be allowing him basically to have a pacifier. Basically in life is if it's a person that's dependent on his mother, his woman, therefore being the system, everything, you know what I'm saying? If you allow that crutch, then you're not allowing him to be a man. You're not allowing him to be on his own. You understand? Listen, let me tell you a very great experience, right? So that's great.
Let me answer that question. The way they say about black city, becoming a man, you keep the boy from becoming.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep the boy,
Yeah.
you keep the boy from becoming a man because one, you take the man out of the house.
That's right.
He don't see how the man interact with his woman. You don't see how the man interact with other men.
Let's come on.
That's why you got this gay stuff. That's also popular. But you know what I'm saying? Your kid don't see or get the discipline he need. Cause mama ain't gonna discipline. Well, my mama beat her ass. Excuse my language. She beat her ass. You feel me? And she beat you. And anybody else that that's the problem. Community. That's the problem. There was a community taking care of her. Even though she did do it, they would have did worse to me if they would have caught me out of the streets.
Absolutely.
Me still not the fight in front, pressure on me.
Yes, sir.
But them white folks put more pressure on me.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that going up. But the thing is, you gotta remember, bro, it's a target on our back because of who we are.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? So to keep that boy from becoming a man, you must with his education.
That's right.
Because one thing they do know is we smarter than them. We way more innovative than them. And the reason that they truly integrated school was to keep us from becoming the people that we are smart.
Yeah.
Look at the stuff we're doing now, man. We ain't paying attention to who we are. We ain't got no doctors, no lawyers, no accountants. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to make the stuff because our boys are out here running football, basketball, goddamn rapping stupid stuff out there. What are we doing in society right now?
Yeah.
So how you keep a boy standing for it? Think about that movie, Menace to Society.
Yeah.
And how people flock to see that. It's just that term. Menace to society. If you're a menace, that means you out there destroying.
Movies give light to people. Plus, it teaches us to be wrong. It teaches us to be gangsters, right? On the other
And
hand,
that's how you keep the little boy a little boy.
it teaches everybody else that this is who we are. But you know what I'm saying? It teaches the white community that when they see little black boys with dreads and braids, hands hanging down, don't be scared of them. Because
They monsters.
They monsters.
Okay. What did hold on.
And that's how they begin to do. Soon as they can define us as being monsters, then they justify and
They
destroy.
justify why they
Use the
kill you unarmed. They justify why you locked up. They justify why you don't have an education. They justify why you aren't selling drugs, beating on women. That all that justify that, man. It's simply to say that you're an angry man and you don't deserve to be a disciplinary kid because you beat them out of the action.
Okay, watch this. So let's break it back because we're going down a rabbit hole. We're going to pull back just a little bit.
Back it up.
We'll back it thing up. All right, so the Word of God has an order that we who say that we are kingdom citizens, that we belong to Him. There's an order that we must follow. It's God first, then it's man, then it's wife, then it's children. That's the order. Society, whoever is running society, its job is to disrupt the order, to get the man out of power, keep the man in custody, keep the mothers on the system, keep the mothers dependent on welfare. That's part of the system agenda. We can agree to that. But we don't benefit from it like we think we benefit from it. That's the psychological damage that's being done. You don't have to work because you get a check. You don't have to work because all you got to do is go put one of the three, or one of the four, or one of the five, or one of the six, baby dad, no job. Man, you don't have to work. You can still get your nails did. You can still get your weed done. You can still get your braids. You can still go clubbing with your girl. You can still drink out of the sink. You can still do all of those things while the system is footing the bill. And the man in jail. We know that to be true. So, but how do we change that?
Do you think most of us is on welfare?
No. That's not what I'm saying. The system that's in place for the ones who are using it that don't want it to go away because they don't have to work.
That's what you said is,
Yeah.
is the thinking that most people believe about us.
That's
They
correct.
really believe that most of us is on
And it's
welfare.
not us.
And it's not us.
It's them.
More of them
It's
on
more-
welfare than we
Right,
ever been
but see,
on
but we don't
welfare.
get that.
It was never designed for us anyway.
Emotionally, we're disconnected. There's a thing called assimilation. So what assimilation is if you simulate it enough times, people begin to mimic.
You said enough.
If you say it enough times, people will begin to believe it.
Donald Trump.
If you put it out there and they buy into it long enough,
Did you read it? I just want to know, did you read it?
come on, man.
Did you read it?
Could you read it?
No. What I actually read, it's religion.
Oh man,
I told you that that's the blueprint, right?
but see, I've been doing my wilderness for a long
Bro,
time.
I'm just simply saying
Yeah,
everything you just said. He put into that thing a long time ago.
Yeah.
If you take and give these women this right here, she ain't gonna want a man.
That's right.
And that's the fact of the matter. A lot of this is about defense. A lot of this is about independence.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's an attack on us. That's why I say it's an attack on us. It's to keep us separated, keep us from growing, right? But at the end of the day, it causes dysfunctional things. All of it. Because technically, you can't tell your grandkids nothing because they don't listen. But you got the most information in here out of all of it. I'm quite sure you. I don't know about you. I don't know, y'all. Y'all might be neck and neck. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 63.
71.
Yes, so
he
got me. Yes, sir.
You seen segregation.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So you know about the stuff that's going on. We talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How different was it when you was in a school of dominant black?
Check it out. I'm gonna go back to what you said about Willie Black.
Yeah.
So the first clinical thing going on now is PTSD.
Yeah. Post-traumatic stress disorder.
And I laugh at that because sadly, Willie Lynch and that whole creation, that was PTSD. So a lot of what was happening with us in our community, particularly with black men, is we got internalized trauma.
That's right.
You go to prison, you see what you see, do what you do, internalize trauma. So you never figure out, like, how do I function in this world with this internalization of trauma?
That's good stuff right there.
How do you function?
I
And we don't talk. I'm sorry.
seen that more of recipe. Like basically what he was saying was, if you implement what I'm doing, you don't have to do this no more. Women gonna take it for us. Because they gonna teach her daughter. She gonna teach her daughter one thing. She gonna teach her son something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you see now, the result of all that. And the dependence that they put in place, housing, food, Medicaid, this, that, and the third. Reality, all that's about to be taken away from them. Building.
Yeah.
It's about to be taken away because they're taking away food stamps. They're about to do away with food.
Yeah. And it's going to force you to go to work. Now watch this. I'm gonna show you. He said something that was powerful. And I want every man to take stock in this. And I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me well. I'm coming from a advocate of working in the mental health field for 13 years. 33 years of ministry, talked to a lot of people, seen a lot of things, heard a lot of things, seen a lot of things, done a lot of things. Right? When we talk, are we talking through trauma? When we hear, are we hearing through trauma? When we see a situation, are we seeing it through trauma? Are we listening through trauma? Are we listening through anger? Are we listening and speaking through hurt, through frustration, through disappointment? Because that's what this thing is about. It is about keeping us warring within ourselves that we're not good enough. That God did not create us to be who we are. That we are something less than. Right? And so we begin to hear these things, this trauma that we've been traumatized with, and we speak through trauma. And when we listen to somebody, we're listening through the ears of anger. through the ears of hurt, through the ears of frustration, through the ears of desperation a lot of times. So it's not the words that's coming out of our mouth to the young generation. It ain't even reaching this mark because they turned the volume all the way down. Because they watch us. They watch what we do.
Let me jump in. I wasn't going to say anything, but let me jump in.
Jump on in.
It's okay to identify something,
Yes, sir.
but the next step, as identifying, is what do I do with it?
Yes, sir.
The problem is simple. If you have accomplished that point of north, that everybody can make their direction north, all you have to do to upset that is put something to affect the true north compass.
That's right. That's good.
And that's what's happening in our moral society.
Right.
And we got so many things working against us. We got government,
Yes.
socialization.
Yes, sir.
We have us.
Yeah.
We are funding the things that are moving the moral compass to keep us on the wrong track.
That's good.
I mean, we're simply funding it out of our pockets when we're listening to simple shows like The Black Man is Calling Himself a Player. That means I'm avoiding my responsibility because I'm still a player.
Right.
And like you said earlier, kid is what plays on.
I play.
When you become a grown up, you have to put away some of that play period.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna give you some reference about moving more society out.
Come on.
In Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12, and it's just simply going to read it. I'm going to read it to you. As for my people, children are their oppressors, right? The women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to error, and destroy the way of thou.
Come on, man.
You see how you just move the compass a little bit?
Yeah.
Now we have strong women in charge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. You have to be strong when you're left in a position to have to be strong.
Come on. Come on. Yeah.
So now you have to be, you don't have choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we are funding this foolishness, we identify the problem,
Yeah.
but we still come out of pocket
Yeah.
to fund all of these organizations that's keeping us on that track.
Yeah.
Simply by, we buy their goods.
That's right.
We tune into their radio station.
Yes.
We got to buy their attire.
Yeah.
Right? And then we come back and say, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You just gave all your money. China is a perfect example.
That's
China
right.
says, watch me make capitalism fund communism. How many things in your house?
That's what I'm saying. Everything.
That's right.
But we say we don't want to be in the communist society.
Right.
But that's where you give all your money to. So what is going to come to fruition?
That's good stuff, man.
So I'm going to back out.
No.
What?
I'll sit on the edge.
No, that's good stuff.
I
Right there.
love that because I really was talking to some people about something like that similarity, right? What if we stop shopping? What if we stop going to these gas stations? What if we stop buying these clothes? What if we stop, buying these cars off of these lots and funding these people, as you say? We funding this out of our pockets as we become slaves of them. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, meaning is, if you're going to go out here and buy a $300,000 house, why not go buy the material, find your own land, and build your own house? Basically, in so many words, because at this time, if you funding that, then you funding their ways instead of making money yourself. If we take and don't shop, don't do nothing, we'll drop the whole economy all the way down so bad. Don't go to work, don't pay your mortgages, don't do none of that stuff. And everybody stick to the same plan. Not just a couple of 100,000 people a year do it, and then 200,000 more gonna follow along with it. But if you can get everybody to do this right here and grab hands like this and hold each other like this right here, and we all stand for the same thing, I guarantee you they have to come to us and ask us what's going on.
We got a
How
blueprint.
can we resolve this?
We got a blueprint.
How can we help this?
We got a blueprint.
Yeah.
It's been done. Montgomery bus board college.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
watch
see,
it.
that's the only one.
Other than Target.
But watch it. But the reason why we can't is because we are dependent on the good.
Right.
We have bought into the assimilation. We've been brainwashed to believe we need that stuff to survive, and we don't.
Right.
So it still comes back to us. It still comes back to order. When you read Isaiah, and you talked about the women and the children, the men and God were left out. It's always about disrupting the order to carry out these nefarious plans.
That's what I
That's what you say.
when I talk about that.
Yeah.
Right there, it's the blueprint
Yeah,
to
man.
why we in this situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is the beginning, and it tells you in the Bible. That's why I mentioned Willie, because that's their blueprint.
Yeah, I read it.
And when you look at it, it tells you why men are separate. The old
That's
man
what
don't
I'm
talk to
saying.
the young man.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about, we jokingly do it when we talk about how light skinned guys is dark skinned guys. But then it was all put into us to get to this point right now. You know, even without segregation. You know what I'm saying? They segregate, desegregate, but they get plans to keep their kids away from our family. You got private school. You got
Boarding school.
all these other stuff. They keep their kids out, and their kids are learning way more. So basically, if you look at it now, public school is the same way it was before they desegregated. We don't have, you got the regular book, if they got books. The school, you got mold in them, they tore up. You know what I'm saying? So we technically in a modern day era where we going through the same stuff we were back. You know, we don't have shit to offer. And I get to your point right here. Get to your point, and I had the same thought. If we just simply say, hey, look, I'm not going to support this neighborhood store that don't put black people in it. You know, Lakeside, Joe Shotwell. These stores in our hometown. You know what I'm saying? They convenience stores, but ain't no black people in it.
Right.
We putting our money into other communities, and they're taking their money and sending it back home.
Greg said something earlier. Greg, I want you to talk about, you know, when you were talking about your experience and how, you know, you being driven to do certain things caused you to feel like that you have to grind so hard. Go into that a little bit. Why do you feel like that you don't deserve a day of rest because you grinding that hard?
I'm fortunate enough in the business where this ain't supposed to be.
Right.
You know, this is not working.
Okay.
So it's like I told you, this is my second home.
Okay.
So I don't, I'm not, now, if I was like on a 9 to 5,
Right.
definitely working.
Okay.
But I've been doing this, I think I'm 31 years in the game.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to make it out the light.
Right.
You know that, you know what I'm talking about, the light.
Oh yeah.
So when I came back down here, dude, I was feeling probably like, this is no lie. When I was out there moving around, I probably was getting 10 hours of sleep a week. Now, guess what?
Yeah.
I get 6 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
So,
So you come up.
Yeah,
I get it.
I like what I do, man.
Yeah.
You were saying something earlier about how what ballers are, right?
Yeah.
You ain't 3 things.
Yeah.
And you know, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a people person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, so I love when people come in here, like when guys come in here and talk about what they going through with their kids, or their wife, or their girl, or they feel and all that. And so, people come to me with questions. Good questions.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I just love that, man. I love interacting with people. So, my whole thing is, it's not like,
Job.
Not
Not a job.
it's not, it's like, I'm getting paid for what I love doing.
I love it.
It's this guy, right? Called Young Guy. Sing songs called Same Thing Is Forgiven. And gotta do the same thing. Keep going. Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense though. Because listen, let me tell you something yourself, right? Things that you did to get the woman that you got. Because see, first and foremost, you must understand as a man, pursue a woman. You understand what I'm saying? It's on her to choose you. Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't on you to choose a woman. Because you can pursue a woman all day. It's on her to say yes or no if she's gonna be with you. You know what I'm saying? So, if, you know, people have problems in relationships, we all, you know what I'm saying? But what can we do to make this like the same time than when we first met? You understand what I'm saying? What can we do to keep our love strong or going? You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to do now in household.
Hold on, wait a minute now. Elevate. Because what? Your old lady is never, depends on how long you've been with her. Y'all gonna elevate. You know, I've been times been me and my old lady used to do the wildest things. But now we got more responsibility. So you can't do the same. You can't. I'll get that down. Yeah, but you can't do the same way. Y'all together, man. Y'all been together for a long time. Man, people don't realize how they say time fly.
Yeah.
Time don't fly. They go more responsibility. And that makes the day go long. But I mean, you know, time don't fly. It's the same time. Same time we was out here running around. She wanna see you every night. She don't want to see you every night now. She tired. She don't work all day. So, you know, we had it.
I'm not gonna call it that. I gotta try to call it something like that. And I have been trying to tell him. In the Bible somewhere it talks about being evenly yoked.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I think a lot of times we with somebody, you with her or she with you, and y'all ain't evenly yoked.
Come on.
And you waste nobody in 25 years. And he woke up one day and just realized, we ain't even yoked.
Yeah.
Wasn't nothing I could do, no matter how much I hustle, how much I work. You can't take what ain't evenly yoked and make it work. So we waste time when we're not looking for what's on the evenly yoked. What do we look for most times
Yeah.
when we first look at it?
Yeah.
And we get a hollow.
Yeah. For sure. It's the lust.
The lust.
It's the lust.
Hey, man,
That's something
the
that
thing is though,
we're getting back into the wrap up. Big folks.
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and
just saying, man, it's that lust. You've been with her like 25 years. Kind of fall out of love with lust, but you still like it. But I like it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that cooking. I like that washing the clothes.
I like
Oh,
the
my
kindness
clothes.
of a woman. Yeah, the kindness and the caring of a woman is all I
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't want nothing from you else.
I left a message for you right now, right?
You had to be proud of that.
No, listen.
But you left a bit of you.
You listen, I had to shoot up here right quick. I had to shoot up here. Listen. Hold on, check this out. I'm telling you something. That house gonna be top. Because you know what? I don't even care about the lust no more. See, I get them when I get them. So,
Hey y'all, so listen, stop Carr here with the fellas at Barbershop Talk. Be ready to wrap this thing up, but join us for the next episode of something just as real and just as wrong. Listen, it's ain't the proprietors here, international style. Touch here, Quincy, North Carolina. Frustration, but Tory, you know, thank you for joining me. Till next time, we'll see you.
y'all have a nice one. Right. We appreciate it.
Thank you, good people. Till the next time.
What's up, man? What's up?
Yeah, oh, definitely, man. Yeah.
You don't like cleaning up your own house?
No. I listen.